Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. A little bit of peak organic up in this piece. I have not had a peak organic beer in quite some time. Big reason, they don't really date their boxes. Almost all their stuff comes in boxes, and whenever I pick one up, I can't really find any kind of date on it. They do date their cans, Best By dates, which are about not as worthless as no date, but pretty worthless in and of itself. But saw this. It said Spring IPA. It has a Best By date of 8/24/24. Has to be fresh, right? That means they're making this like for spring. It's a spring IPA. It's a crushable session IPA. So it's got to be fresh because we're in March 2024. It's got to be. So that's what I'm assuming. But then again, it does have Best By date on it of, again, August 2024. So it is fresh as fresh could be up to that date. That's what they're saying. They're saying if you drink this on 8/24/24, it's going to be just like it rolled off the line. If you're drinking on 8/25, it's hot garbage. That's what that number means. For those who don't know. At least that's how I think any sane person would read Best Buys as opposed to Born-Ons. So yeah, we're diving into it. Spring IPA, a session IPA for springtime, peak organic, 4.7% alcohol by volume, local sourcing, bright, juicy hops, certified organic, best ingredients in beer. A session IPA for springtime. Where are they located? See, it says here, Peak Organic Brewing Company, Portland, Maine. For some reason, I thought they were outside of Portland. That could be wrong. Or they could be somewhere outside of Portland, but they do their contracting in Portland? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Well, ASMR for you there. I actually do really like their labels. They've always been very, very simple, nondescript, nothing too crazy, minimalist, and I do dig on them. I really do. I would buy them more often if I just, again, dates. I've been talking about dates a lot. It's kind of annoying me. Not going to lie to you. That looks cash money. And honestly, it smells like cash money because from a distance, I'm getting big bursting citrus. So you're talking about sub 5%, jumping out of glass citrus, looking like a nice rich hazy like that. We're off to a really good start. Pinky finger, foamy, creamy white head. That soft, it's not turbid, it's not dense, but it has that nice soft haze to it that you expect from something of low ABV. We're off to a very, very good start. Let's get a nose. Yeah, citrus. All the citrus. It's very much all citrus. There's a little bit of kind of like, I mean, you're going in your tropical fruit, but it's very much pineapple-y tropical fruit. But it's very much like bright orange, bright lemon, lime, citrus, grapefruit. All those zestiness, sweetness. Nothing too overtly bittering, at least precursors to that. And it is. And just comes off spot on as summer in a glass. Springtime in a glass. Or I should say springtime in a glass, not summer in a glass, because it's springtime. Bright, warm, summery days. Bright, summery in a glass. I'm going to say it. I don't care. And I'm digging on it. I'm digging on the nose. I think it's coming off bright and vibrant. And it's something I just want to rip and chug. Let's rip and chug. Cheers, y'all. I like that. I like this as a... I really like this as a... How do I phrase this? Not necessarily as a straight session beer, because when I say straight session beer, I mean I'm going to drink 6 of these, minimum, at a barbecue. I like this as a tier beer in a session of drinking beers. And I'll explain that in a minute. We'll get to the beer. Mouthfeel, it's not huge. It's not going to be confused with thin. I don't think somebody's going to confuse it with thin, especially its ABV level and what it's trying to pull off. It's definitely not dense or fluffy or creamy or anything like that, but it has a nice mouthfeel for its ABV level. It's actually undersweetened. That can be the case sometimes with these lower ABV beers because you got to attenuate the crap from just to get to the alcohol level you want to. So it comes out a little bit undersweetened. There is a really decent bittering on here. So it's got almost like a little bit of kind of like, I don't know if it's a session beer because the bittering's so big. Based off of its ABV and the heft of the sweetness, it's big in that sense. But I like it. It's very much all that citrus. Gets very rindy, very pithy because of that bittering. And definitely still has that kind of grapefruit, orange, lemon, pineapple kind of thing going on for it. What I meant earlier is a tier beer. So if I'm going to go and do like a summer drinking session, go outside, barbecue, that whole kind of thing, I rarely session one beer. I like to bring a couple with me, and I like to tier them up. That's kind of how I enjoy the drink, especially if I'm going to drink multiple beers in a summer session like that. So I'll pick like, really low ABV kind of Pilsner, maybe move up to something of, my Baki. Slip this sucker into the mix right after that. And then throw in like, a 5-6% hazy. Rinse, repeat that order. That's kind of how I like to kind of tier my, if I'm going to have several beers through the course of a day, again, barbecuing, hanging out, playing sports, doing the whole nine. That's kind of how I like my thing to go and tier that and rinse, rotate. And this is kind of like a cool one because you go into that Pilsner, then you get into like a Maibaki, something a bit sweeter. You come back to this, nice hop, but that dryness tempers everything back, and then just go up to that next tier of 5-6% hazy, and it just makes for a fun little ride for me. And that's where this beer would be perfect. I think it's a really tasty beer. I think it's really well done. There's zero flaws to it, and I do appreciate that bittering for what it's doing, even at this low ABV. In a perfect world, is it a skosh sweeter? Maybe it moves up the ladder for me if it is, but again, I can always appreciate the beers that come off a bit dry and bittering, and this one definitely is that, and it comes up hyper fresh. Again, summer in the glass. Again, I'll say summer in the glass, but there's springtime close enough. And they nailed it. They nailed it in a very good way. Glad I got to try some. It's been a long time since I've had Peak Organic, and I forgot how much I dig it, especially when they're fresh, which I assume this one is, based off the Best Buy, dude. Anyway, there you go. Dates. Is one of the better session hazies I've had as of late. Honestly, it's not Marshmallow status. I'm not going to get there. There's ones that do me better, but it's very tasty, and it's in the conversation without a doubt. Value and availability in the mix of Six and Wegmans can't cost that much and leave you with, if you like what we like this. If you like hazy crushers that aren't sweet, this is going to foot the bill for you. Absolutely. There you go. Reviewing the books. Peak. Have you been to the brewery? Have you had the beers? Have you had this beer? What's your favorite Peak beer? All that fun stuff down there. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little Peak Organic right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers, y'all.